Okay, this is how I make a plate. If you tried to make a plate a different way and it turned out good, that's great. If you looked up how to make a plate a different way and it turned out great, fantastic. But if you haven't yet, this is a way to try to make a plate. Okay, this is a good way to make a curvy plate. Not really a geometric plate or sharp plate, like a triangular plate or square. It's more for like a curvy, organic shape. I am actually gonna do this star, but I'm gonna make it way bigger than that. And I'm gonna kind of like, you know, see how this is like one of those kind of wider looking stars? Like it's kind of like puffy in a way. I'm gonna do it like that. But this is a good way to make any kind of organic shape into a plate, like a flower, a heart, an egg shape, an avocado shape. I made an apple-shaped plate before. Yeah, and these are kind of funny or kind of funky, interesting, artistic plates. Here's the fish. The little fish. And first hour I made this oval plate. I don't know, you can put a burrito on it or a roll of sushi or something. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this out. Okay, so then you're gonna take a sponge, a damp sponge, and go around the edges and kind of round off the edges a little bit. And then do that on the other side as well. Flip it over. Okay, now which side looks the best? This side or this side? This one? This side looks better? Okay, so I'm gonna put the best looking side down. This is the bottom. I'm gonna make a line. I'm not cutting, I'm just making a line about an inch out from the edge. Actually, for this, it might work. Nah. I was gonna trace that, but that's a little bit too small. And then wherever this little inch away from the edge is, that's where I'm gonna score this. I'm gonna go ahead and slip it just for good measure, just get it over with. And I'm gonna be quick about putting, look, I'm gonna put a coil on there, and that coil is gonna be the foot of the plate. Okay, so I'm gonna take my extra clay here. I'm gonna wedge it real quick. And I'm gonna squeeze it out and roll it into a really long coil. So this is kind of the trickiest part of this, is making a really long, nice, pretty coil to go around that part where I just slipped and scored. So this might take me a second. And you can make it in parts. It doesn't have to be one really long coil. It just makes it a little bit easier if it is. Okay, here's my weird looking star again. And now, instead of laying this all out on here, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna push with my fingers like this. You'll see my little fingers in that little triangular kind of look, little shape I'm making with my fingers. Are you watching? And see how that clay stretches every time I push it? That's why I'm not laying the whole thing down, because I want to push it into those score marks. Notice I didn't score the coil itself. I just scored the plate. So I really want to make sure that this fresh, soft clay of this coil gets pushed into those little score marks. So do you remember, is this the bottom of the plate or the top?
The bottom.
This is the bottom of the plate. This is the foot. This little coil is going to be the foot. Okay, I'm going to tear that off, smooth that over. And then I'm probably going to take this sponge real quick while it's upside down, because this tends to be a little floppy on the first day. It's a little bit, a little too wet to be flipping it upside down, back and forth, you know, over and over. So you can kind of clean up that slip a little bit on the first day. Okay, so then I'm gonna flip it over, and here's the magic trick part. Are you ready? I'm gonna take this damp sponge and I'm gonna press on the inside. I can feel that coil. I'm pressing on the inner edge of that coil all the way around, and that's the little part that you put your food on. Look at that.
It's not enough surface area though.
No, that's not. That's a tiny plate. Barely put like one waffle on there.
It's for kids.
Head of broccoli in there.
That's why I wanted to do the wheel.
Yeah, you can make this big, and you can just make a plain circle using this same technique. I just wanted to make a star plate because I thought it would be cute. You could make a divided plate this way too. That would be a good idea. If,
My board.
if you don't like your food to touch. Are y'all one of those people?
No.
The no food touch
But I
people?
like the idea of it.
What?
I don't. What?
Like the idea of a separated
I
plate.
don't know. They're cute.
Yeah.
It reminds me of like when I was younger. I used to have this little horsey plate. Yeah. It's cute.